Everything you were ever taught about the Egyptian pyramids is a lie. History literally tried to hide this, but the physical evidence left behind tells a terrifyingly brilliant truth. For centuries, we've been told the exact same story, right? That these were majestic tombs built for the pharaohs, the ultimate resting place for god kings. But here is the shocking reality. Not a single mummy has ever been discovered inside a pyramid. None. Zero evidence actually exists of a pharaoh ever being buried in these massive structures.
So if they weren't tombs, what exactly were they? And how on earth were they built? The tension really starts rising when you look at the sheer scale of the construction. The Great Pyramid is made up of 2,300,000 limestone blocks. And get this, each one of these individual blocks weighs as much as an adult elephant. There is just no way. These massive stones were stacked to reach 481 feet into the sky, covering a massive 13-acre base. But here's where the story gets really strange. The eastern and western walls of these incredible structures don't just vaguely face north, they point flawlessly to true north.
Okay, let's dive into this comparison because it is absolutely staggering. The base of the pyramid is perfectly level across all 13 acres, with a microscopic margin of error of just 0.75 inches. Look, any engineer tuning into this explainer knows that achieving this kind of mind-bending perfection over 13 acres today requires modern laser leveling systems and highly advanced compasses, yet we're told they did it with basic tools.
And the mystery just keeps building. Look at the massive sidewalls. They're 230 meters long, built from 5-ton blocks placed at highly specific angles. The maximum difference in length between these 4 colossal sides is an impossible 2 inches. That makes these walls 99.98% accurate compared to each other. Literally one wrong move and the entire structure collapses, but it didn't.
Section 1. The Earth Size Code. Now, all of this so far was just the setup, because the true climax of this mystery brings us to a mathematical code that proves the ancient builders didn't just know how to stack rocks. They perfectly knew the exact dimensions of our planet. The code is actually hidden in plain sight. Just follow these steps with me. Twice a year, during the solar equinox on March 21st and September 22nd, the sun is perfectly centered on the equator. This creates exactly 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. Now, if you take those 12 hours and convert them into seconds, you get exactly 43,200 seconds. Okay, keep that number locked in your head. And then, it happens. The mathematical impossibility. If you take the Great Pyramid's height and multiply it by 43,200, you get 6,332 kilometers. That is the exact length of the Earth's polar radius. Now multiply the pyramid's base perimeter by that same exact number, 43,200. The results? 39840 kilometers, which brilliantly illustrates the exact circumference of the Earth. These calculations match our planet's exact dimensions with a staggering 99.63% accuracy. Look, a coincidence happens once, but a 99% accurate coincidence happening twice? That is mathematically impossible. Whoever built this intimately knew the size of our planet. So the crucial point we have to ask ourselves is, are we even looking at the structure we think we are? I mean, ask yourself this simple question. How many sides does the Great Pyramid actually have? You'd probably say 4, right? Wrong. It has 8. Back in 1940, a British Air Force pilot was flying over the site and captured something that changed history forever. From above, and only fully visible during the exact day of the solar equinox, the pyramid actually splits. It has 8 distinct sides. Just another impossible alignment. How could they possibly know to do that? Section 2, a lost advanced civilization? This really changes everything. Because if the ancient Egyptians didn't have the math, the lasers, or the global geographic knowledge to build these structures 4.5 millennia ago, it forces us to look at rewriting human history entirely. Who actually built them? Looking at the historical timeline, a completely different story begins to build. Author Graham Hancock points out that the exact layout of the Giza pyramids perfectly matches the 3 stars of the Orion constellation, but not as they look today. And actually not as they looked 4,500 years ago either. They perfectly aligned 13,500 years ago in 11,400 BC, a time when mainstream history says the Egyptian civilization didn't even exist yet. And the physical evidence totally backs this up. Professor Robert Schoch from Boston University looked at the Great Sphinx. This massive 240-foot monument isn't eroded by wind and sand. The deep, vertical fissures are the unmistakable result of massive, rushing water. And the only time this plateau was hit by water that powerful was when the Ice Age ended. Sea levels rose 500 feet, and the entire area was flooded, way back in 9700 BC. Which brings us to the final crushing blow to the history books. You see, the ancient Egyptians documented absolutely everything. Their religion, their wars, their daily lives, all of it was carved meticulously into hieroglyphs. Yet in all of Egypt, not a single hieroglyph mentions building the pyramids. Nothing. Zero. This moment doesn't just change the past. It forces us to question the entire future of archaeological discovery. Did the Egyptians build these mathematically impossible structures, or did they just find them, already built by an advanced civilization lost to time, and claim them as their own? The truth is still out there, waiting in the stone. Follow for more hidden history explainers and tell me in the comments, who do you really think built them?